Hello, and welcome. Introduce yourselves!
Hi everyone, my name is musiquil or Quill. Some people call me Luca. I am a Kirby speedrunner. You guys might have seen me at Fastest Furs in fall when I ran Nightmare in Dreamland any percent. Here I am going to be playing a Nightmare. I'm playing Kirby and the Amazing Mirror 100%, which is completely different. After this introduction, I will not be talking very much. The mic isn't very good, and I'm also just kind of the person that likes to laser focus. That is why I have one of my favorite people in the entire world with me, TG.
Thank you. Yes, I'm TG. I also speedrun Amazing Mirror. I'm pretty good at it, if you ask me. And yeah, I'll be talking about all the cool strats, routes, and tricks we'll be seeing so that this Stode here can go rocket fast, beat all 8 bosses, collect every chest, visit every room, and beat Darkmind.
Right. Give me a countdown, TG, and we can begin.
3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so Kirby the Amazing Mirror is going to start us off in this tutorial section, and we're going to have 2 quick tricks, one right after the other. The first one is Gate Skip. Now, Gate Skip, for this upcoming section, usually this is the game's way of trying to teach you that you can call on your helper Kirbys to push down the button for you, but with a well-timed jump, you could just slide under the gate right there because we don't need anyone's help. And then right after that, we have the first mix of the run. So we're going to run into the Cupid. Oh, we got Cook. Run into Cupid, and that's going to set up a double inhale with the Cupid and the sword. We got Magic.
Oh, so
please, Magic Wheel.
I was close. All right, I'll do one more.
Okay, so this is not random. So that ability roulette in the bottom left starts at the same place every time, depending on which enemy gets into your mouth first. So since the Sword Knight enters your mouth first, it's going to start at the same place, and it's a 4-frame window to press either A or B on the ability you want. So it can be tricky to learn, but most pros will get it down quite easily. And here we go. So we want to mix for Wheel right off the bat, because Wheel is the fastest way to travel through rooms in this game horizontally. It's got impressive speed, you can jump during it, which is unlike a lot of other Kirby games, and you have invincibility and you can deal damage during the Wheel. So a lot of the speedrun is going to boil down to how good we can traverse all of these rooms utilizing Wheel's basically brokenness for our purposes. Wheel isn't the only ability we'll be using this run. We'll be seeing UFO, we'll be seeing Stone, we'll be seeing Fire, and a bunch of other stuff to be shown at a later point. So, Amazing Mirror is a unique Kirby game in that it is an open world Kirby game. And after we go through this initial linear part through Moonlight Mansion to defeat King Golem, we can then do the remaining 7 bosses in any order we wish. If this was any percent, but we are doing 100%, so we need to do a bunch of extra stuff on top of that. The first thing is we need to get all the chests in the game, and we need to visit every single room, on top of beating all the bosses. So there, Mr. Flosty, as he's typoed in the English version of the game, goes down very easily by inhaling both the Waddle Dees for a double star, and then picking up the remaining 4 hits with Wheel.
You'd think that that'd be something they'd catch, right? It's an ice-based enemy, but they call him Furosti in the Japanese version. I don't know,
yeah,
it just seems kind of intuitive.
It's like a direct translation, like phonetically.
Phonetic.
Yeah, phonetic, yeah. Thank you. My mouth is failing me. So we'll be coming up to our second ability of the run. We'll be ditching Wheel here in just a moment for Stone. And Stone is one of the best boss-killing abilities in Amazing Mirror. It does incredible damage, and yeah, we'll see that in just a moment against the Wispy Woods-alike boss here, King Golem. All it will take to defeat King Golem is 6 hits, so 3 double-hit rock drops. Watch this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just like that, the first boss is over and done with.
Bit of a quick soft reset here during the transition.
Yes, I apologize to all the Kirby Dance lovers in chat. We won't be seeing a lot of Kirby Dance since it is slow to look at. The moment the screen fades to white after we play that mirror shard lowering cutscene, we can soft reset because the save data has updated and we can get the run on with. Now, Amazing Year 100% is a really cool category because it's very modular. A lot of runners do a whole bunch of different routes depending on what they like, what they hate, what they want to get over with as soon as possible, what they want to save for later. And as long as you have the prerequisites to do a certain area, whether it be what ability you start the split with, what rooms you have access to, all that, you can basically create your own route in 100% and not lose a lot of time. So what most 100% runners do is they like to get Mustard Mountain out of the way as soon as possible. So we got a mix here, off those 2 Sparkies, and trying to go for the swag mix there.
I'll just keep going without missile. We can get it later.
Okay, dang. All right, well, I guess we'll be showing off missile later. So that was an auto mix. If Quill wasn't trying to show off how good he was at the game, he could have just let that ability roulette roll all the way and just let it naturally stop on missile, which is pretty fast to this section, but unfortunately he was 1 late and got through. Oh, we got a swag mix! What a legend! Got the backup mix. That was planned, he just wanted to show off that. Ah!
It was all a trick. I deceived you. Oh dear.
So Missile is a very, very difficult ability to use. It's a very fast ability if you're very proficient with it, but it looks like all you do with Missile is steer it with the D-pad, but it's a bit more complicated than that. You sort of like steer its gravity, and it's like got not a whole lot of friction. So basically counter-steering the Missile can be very difficult in very tight spots, so... but doing it flawlessly does save a whole lot of time, and it looks really, really, really cool. So one of the reasons people like getting Mustard Mountain out of the way fast is that it is a little on the boring, dry side. This area that we're going up right now, we're going to have to do twice, since there's a fork in the road a bit later on down this path that we need to go into to get a chest and get another room. And we have to do this entire section again, basically, just to get a whole another room. So,
also like getting this out of the way because I find it to be the most difficult section, apart from Moonlight, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricky things. I mean, missile movement is very, very difficult, much more difficult than it looks. There's a lot of mixes in the run, especially if you're at a high level and you're trying to save every second you can. Nice, getting the wheel mix there. So that's another auto mix, but Quill is pressing A early and getting wheel on a faster cycle and saving a couple seconds there. Yeah, Amazing Mirror isn't a game about going out of bounds. It isn't a game about glitching your inventory or doing a whole bunch of flips and tricks to do something precise. It is a very, very movement, laser-focused game. And at a high level, when you get down to really grinding for like the top 3 times, every single little bit of movement helps. To the end that whenever you hit an enemy when you're in wheel, there's a little bit of a slowdown because it's trying to do the wah-wah. You like hit an enemy, cool effect thing happens, and that actually slows down the game quite a bit. I think it's either between like 3 frames every time you hit an enemy, and we call that hit lag. So on top of trying to do all this wheel movement, you know, not bonking off of walls, spacing out our jumps so we can like nail the sections, we're trying to avoid as many enemies as possible. So the keen-eyed among you in chat, look out for all the different ways Quill is trying to avoid enemies with wheel. In order to save those frames over the course of the run, which does add up, even though it's just a tiny bit every time you hit one enemy.
If you're paying close attention, you've seen that I've probably done it a couple times already.
Alright, yeah, this is the exact same thing we just did earlier. We're grabbing Missile, and we're just going to go up instead of left. So if there's any donations or stuff you want to plug in here while Quill's getting the room we need, go right ahead.
Sure, I've got a few donations. Gilded Teeth donating $26 with a simple but happy message saying hi and a happy face. VHS SGD with $10 saying, ha ha! I'm helping to get to that 6K now. Anonymous, time for 2 more?
Yeah, one more.
One more. We'll do the short one, and I'll come back to the other one. Anonymous donating $1 saying, let's start a dollar trade. And this is only for me and Ian, but do the things!
Alright, now that we're done with the trek up the western peak, we're going to do a tough mix here. This one's a little hard to time, but with the help of the tornado and the Sparky, we're going to get through. That's unfortunate. Thankfully, we do get 2 tries at this mix, since we need to go up this way anyways to get a room. Oh, for some odd reason, we're getting the long weekend fireworks on Friday, so if you hear any explosions from my microphone, please forgive me. So, in the event that we fail the mix here, we just go down to this lower room here, since we need to get this after we beat Krakow anyhow. So it's all part of the Mustard Mountain split. So again,
that's something I learned from the world record holder. I didn't even consider that as an option until I saw him do it once.
Alright, here's a second chance at the UFO mix here.
Alright, try it again.
Ah, dang. This is a tough mix.
There we go.
Nice, okay. So UFO has a lot of utility in speedruns. It's not fast, but its attacks are very useful. In this case, a fully charged laser beam goes through walls, and that allows us to hit bomb blocks and other stuff. And we'll be using UFO a number of times over the course of the run for a couple of utility stuff. Cupid gets used in this speedrun, which might surprise a couple of people. Cupid is definitely a slow ability, but we'll need to use it for about 0.5 seconds here, because Cupid can cut ropes. I don't know if people knew that. I didn't know that before I started speedrunning, but that Cupid's used to get this chest here.
Still more useful than Cutter.
Yikes. Yeah, Cutter doesn't get used once in this whole run, does it?
Well, yes it does, but there's a little trick. It allows me to skip getting the Cutter ability in Olive if I get it.
Yeah, depending on what your friends have. Kirby being UFOP. Yeah, you're right. Alright, so that was a 1 in 3 chance there. Shadow Kirby says hello to, or Mirror World Kirby says hello to us for a bit there, and as we defeat him, we can get one of 3 items. We can get a Maximum Tomato, we can get a 1-up, and we were hoping for an Invincibility Candy, since although Quill got really good RNG on that Battlefire fight, so he didn't lose too much time, the Invincibility Candy absolutely rinses Battlefire, and we're on to Krakow. So Krakow is going to end up just like, Krakow's going to end up exactly like Stone Golem was. 6 hits from Stone is enough to kill him, and Quill.
He got there. Sorry.
Okay, there we go. Bit of a messy fight, but that's fine. We got the second Mirror Shard. And since we grabbed that room earlier, we are done with Mustard Mountain. And we're on our way to do a little bit of All of Ocean. So yeah, a lot of this game is wheel movement again. Try to skip and jump all the way through these rooms as optimally as possible, trying to avoid enemies, reduce that hit lag. A couple of cool slides here and there for us to get off of ledges quickly. You really get into the zone when you get going in this game. Wheel movement is really fast. I really did just read that chat message.
If you didn't, I was going to.
Alright, we're just going to trek all the way through Cabbage Cavern to get through all of Ocean, so if you want to pick up where I cut you off on those donations, you can go right ahead.
Sure, Rubicante donates $5 and says, donating towards Talking to the Frog in what is the best Final Fantasy game. Please start fights in donations over which is actually the best Final Fantasy game. Mostly so I can give Ian Keith a choice. Either croak like a frog on stream, or do your best Slippy Toad impression on the line. Fuck! Get this guy off me!
Is Slippy here? Was that him? Oh, Quill.
Slappy Todd!
I see the wheel puns are in full force in the chat right now. I very much encourage it. Alright, nice hit lag reduction here. So, yeah, a lot of the early parts of 100% are all set up for later. So, across the whole world, there are 15 switches you can hit, which are basically fast travel points. And obviously we need all of those for 100%, but we can't do certain splits, or segments of the run, I should say, unless we get those switches. So a lot of this early part, we're going to be doing a long detour around the world, get as many of these switches as we can, so we can then just wrap off a lot of segments at once. Since while there is like some long segments in this game, there are a couple segments where we just go to one specific place, grab a bunch of rooms, and then we're done. So,
Speaking of long segments,
yeah.
this is kind of long.
Yeah, so we're all the way in all of Ocean, and then in this split, we are going to end it on beating Mega Titan. And if you played the game before, then you'd know that's all the way on the complete other end of the world map. No, Brad! Thank you for inhaling. Quill and I have a habit of giving enemies names, or at least specific enemies that love to shaft us during our runs. That was Brad the Sparky. Sometimes he's nice and we thank him, and sometimes he's evil and we don't.
The two Sparkies that we ran into in Mustard Mountain we call Prick and Prack. What else do we got?
Prick and Prack.
We got Gary, the Waddle Dee that never was, I think.
Yeah, Gary only shows up in bingos, though. You never see Gary in any category in any speedrun, which I'm sad about. Poor Gary.
Oh, I love that jump. So good.
So yeah, because room completion is needed for 100%, we're also going to be seeing a bunch of occurrences of just entering a room and then immediately leaving it, just for the map completion's sake. So if you're wondering why Quill enters a room and then does nothing with it and just immediately leaves, that's why, because we need to tell the game that we've seen that room and it is cool. Alright, we're just wheeling our way through Rainbow Route. We're now in the Carrot Castle area. We have a little bit of time before we enter Carrot Castle proper. Maybe if you have more donations on the docket.
Well, I would like to point out that we are, in fact, trying to see if we can talk to a frog, and if we get $47 more in that particular incentive, we will be talking to a frog, and it probably won't sound like my attempt to sound like Slippy. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What do you mean, that was you? I thought that was actually Slippy. So yeah, some more. Yeah, Amazing Mir generally gets poked fun of by the Kirby speedrunning community as Kirby and the Amazing Wheel, and as you can see from a majority of this run, you can see why. Apart from maybe Squeak Squad, this is probably the most busted Wheel has been in a speedrun context in any Kirby game I can think of.
Yeah, I can't really think of any other ones where Wheel's really broken. This one is broken because of its iframes, and Squeak is broken because of how high you can jump with it.
Oh, if you've never seen a Kirby Squeak Squad Wheel jump, oh boy. Zooming.
A little early there.
Ah!
See,
Yes.
we have a sword among us. That's nice.
Huh. So
The question is, can he hang on? Can he hang on to it?
So we're coming up. The next boss we're going to do is Mega Titan, and Mega Titan is interesting from a speedrunner's perspective since it's the only boss we'll be beating in the whole run with Wheel. Now, normally Wheel is a pretty bad boss ability, but since you beat Mega Titan in a very unique way in that you're supposed to bump him into the electrified walls. Let's see if we can get the early hit. Nice! So we can get him to block that cross-up by just jumping underneath him, and since you technically hit him from the left side, you can immediately bonk him under the right wall and then finish the fight very quickly, and then finish the head with Wheel.
It's a good fight.
There we go. Yeah, it was very good. Got the early hit. Picked up a lot of good hits on the second head phase, and we're just already done. Now, since we beat this boss with Wheel, we are actually going to watch the Kirby Dance cutscene, so soak it in. Let me see your dance emotes.
This is like one of the 2 times in the run we'll see it.
Yep. And we're going to spawn back in the hub with Wheel at the last hub mirror we entered. So, and that's going to conveniently, since we started that split through the Olive Ocean mirror, we're going to spawn outside of it, and we can immediately start doing the Olive Ocean split next. So we're back at Olive Beach, but instead of continuing on to the beach and getting the Gold Mirror Room, as well as the Ocean Spray, we're going to go into the depths of Olive Ocean here, with a lot of swimming. Now, I'm a big fan of the swimming physics in this game. I know underwater levels get a lot of hate in video games because it generally slows the pace down to a crawl. You know, you've got these whole new movement mechanics that just feel kind of sluggish and can get you into a lot of trouble, but swimming in this game just feels good.
Boxy is my friend!
Oh, that was an incredibly good Boxy. Oh, what are you doing? So the trick to Boxy there was to keep as close to Boxy as possible, those quick wheel turns, and I'll cut myself off because we've got another sick mix here. Oh, it doesn't get the double here. So we're going to puff one of the Folies, these bomb enemies, into another, get a double inhale. And we're one early, unfortunately. Oh, we're doing sword skip. Okay, so the plan there was to mix for either UFO or fire, but we're going to do a bit of a fan favorite trick that loses a tiny bit of time, but it's a much swaggier. So we're going to slash these two blippers up, and we're going to call our friends. Now, for those of you who know Kirby games at least, pressing up and B with the sword does that final cutter move. And we basically footstool off of one of our friends there, and we can get an up B input right on the water surface, and we can hit that bomb block through the wall and prevent having to go all the way around. And that saves us quite a bit of time.
So unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do my cutter skip strat here, but that's alright. Maybe another day.
Yeah, Quill was anxiously looking at that top left of the screen there, seeing what abilities his friends have. Ooh, swag wheel mix? Yeah, I love this mix. So wheel is the first one on the ability roulette if you inhale a bomb enemy. If you get a double inhale, and you can get a really cheeky mix setup. Oh, I love that mix. No! What happened to the down input?
Never got caught up on that ledge before.
Weird. Didn't down input. Oh, I love that slide off of the... If you slide into a button, you bonk off of it, and you can immediately go there. It's so cool. Alright, so because I cut myself off, but Quill was looking to the top left of the screen, because if any of his Kirby friends had an ability which could cut ropes, he would call one of his friends and have them cut the rope for him, so he could keep wheel. But unfortunately, we'll have to do it ourselves. And we'll be grabbing Cutter.
There's an interesting little color glitch that happens with those cannons if you go through them really fast.
Really?
It just kind of changes the palette to look kind of blue. Like, Kirby's hat will turn blue.
Oh, free them! We freed the animals!
Oh. What were you doing over there?
Yeah, there was just a whole... You just had a whole... You had like a Kirby cheer squad cheering the run on.
Big posse.
You know, press 1 if you'd want to be part of the Kirby cheer squad.
Nice.
Alright, so we're not beating Gobbler, the boss of the Olive Ocean area, yet. We're actually going to pick up this dead end route here, because we need to beat Mr. Flosty, as well as pick up a music sheet. And we'll be beating Gobbler a bit later in the run during a segment called Smash Tour, which, for those of you who don't know, Smash is an ability in this game. It gives you basically Kirby's... Smash Brothers moveset, and it's one of the ultimate puzzle-solving abilities in this run, since it allows us to cut ropes, hit pegs, break metal blocks. It's a veritable Swiss Army knife, and after we've set up the whole section, since we need to grab a few more switches here... Where are you going? We're doing Peppermint. We're doing Peppermint.
Yep, we are doing Peppermint. I was one step ahead of myself there.
Okay. But yeah, a little later we'll be doing Smash Tour and doing a whole bunch of cleanup with Smash of stuff that we'd miss otherwise. Alright, some room completion stuff. Oh, there's Prank! Oh wow, I've never fallen down there before.
First time for everything.
And there's 2 more switches to open up the world.
These are some very important switches, too. We'll be coming here a lot.
Smash Tours sounds like a level in a mid-90s SNES platformer.
It sounds like an entire mid-90s SNES platformer.
It's like a forgotten, like, very bad fighting game. Where it's like, you pick a character who's like, has a nationality and uses Smash to, I don't know. Sure somebody pitched it at some point. Alright, so Peppermint Palace, still more wheel, still more Kirby and the Amazing Wheel.
We have, if we have time for a donation.
Yep, go right ahead.
Sniper Czar donating $10 says, "Thanks,
Hey.
Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Best
Brad.
of luck to Quill and all of the runners."
Unfortunately, Brad was not worth thanking this run, but, you know, some people are Brad enthusiasts, and we can't fault them for that. Thank you so much, Sniper, for donating.
Either that or it was a very sarcastic thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Brad.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brad. Way to go.
So we've got a couple of segments in Peppermint. So that was what's called the map split, where we go down the right side of the tower, and now... Oh, we're not doing Shadow Kirby? Okay, we're going right to Wiz.
We're going right to Wiz.
Okay. Unless I missed it.
Alright. No.
Okay, you'll have to pick that up at some point, but that's fine.
Like cleanup segment or something, I don't know.
So really tough wheel movement here that Quill is just absolutely
whatever.
acing. Oh, we're getting this chest now. Okay. We're sure.
We're just taking it in stride. It's alright.
I did say Amazing Mirror was a very modular speedrun, and a lot of people express themselves with their different routes, so... This is just you showing that off, right? And not you forgetting?
This is me showing my scatterbrainedness.
You're doing fine, Quill. You're doing fine.
This is my, yeah.
So we quickly grab UFO because it absolutely shreds Bomb Bar there. But unfortunately, we'll be saying goodbye to the UFOP ability here and setting up a really cool double mix here. Ooh, perfect. That bonk perfectly sets up that Parasol D and that Laser Ball, so we can get a first mix here, which will be Hammer. And perfect. So we'll be using Hammer because, A, we need to hit that peg. That peg can only be hit by abilities such as Stone or Hammer, smashes down B Rock, drop hits it. And... Oh, that was sick! That's more riskier than I do. But we'll need Hammer to defeat Wiz. So, since the up B Fire Hammer attack does all... That's a lot of damage that it does.
Getting a little bit of in-game lag from the attacks there.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop! Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to position ourselves a little bit in front of Wiz, and then once the health bar is halfway filled, we'll up B him twice. Please jump. He jumped.
Man, good
the
man.
Best
That was a
possible
great
pattern. The best possible pattern for heavy hammers does the trick and best possible RNG. And that actually leads me to talk about something that Amazing Mirror has a bit of a reputation for in the Kirby speedrun community as being a very RNG-based speedrun. And with any percent, I'd agree with that. A lot of the boss patterns, no matter what you do to combat them, are going to waste your time. The final boss of the game, Darkmind, is completely up to whether or not he decides to throw you a green star or do an attack that sends multiple stars at you that you can set up a double mix. Because if he just decides to spin his mirrors, you could lose anywhere between like 10 seconds to a minute and say goodbye to your PB if either Darkmind or anyone else decides to throw a wrench into your speedrun. Moley is especially bad for that. He can poke out anywhere. If he gets you a ceiling pattern, that's just an instant time loss. And, yeah, there's some amount of truth to this game being very RNG based, but I mean, again, if you're good enough, you can play the cards you're dealt and not lose too much time, but... There we go. Quill picking
All
up...
the star, please. Thank you.
Please hold down... Oh, okay. So, Quill picking up that last map segment, and we are done with Peppermint Palace for now. We'll be going back there later in the Smash Tour section. And now we're going to do some... We're going to do some Rainbow Road cleanup. So we're going to go back and get a bunch of chests and rooms we haven't got yet.
Yeah,
And-
I do this segment a little earlier because it's fun and I like this segment. It's like a prep for Smash Tour for me.
Yeah, this
So we're
is
gonna be
a...
hanging around.
I mean, you're just bringing that up because I do this segment a bit later. I'm different in that regard. I don't know anyone who does. Oh, I love this setup. So if Quill turns against the wall there, normally if you just wheel through those 2 tile gaps, you'd bonk. But for some reason, if you rub up against the wall before it, you can just go right across it, and it feels so good. And I don't know how to explain that to somebody who just looked at that and just saw you go over gaps. But you'll have to take my word for it that it feels great. And there we go. Battlefire, not. At least Battlefire acted immediately. Battlefire can waste a little bit of your time here. And there we go. Soft resetting. We do not need to go through any of the goal mirrors in this game. That's actually a common question with Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, is does the flash and glow above doors count for 100%? It does not. The glow above doors is just a way to tell the player that they have not yet visited that mirror yet. As a way for the player to not get lost, even though you definitely most people I've talked to have gotten lost when they played this game casually, so it's part of the experience. But you do not have to enter and exit every single mirror in the game for 100%, and thank goodness. So with RNG, would you say this game has a real Wheel of Fortune? Oh, I just read that. Oh, that started out like a genuine question, and then it hit me in the head with a sledgehammer.
To your question, not really. No.
we, the problem is we don't have hammer, we have wheel.
Alright, really cool setup here. So we eject our ability, get a double star through the wall there. That's one of my favorite tricks in the whole run. So we're going to let this doggo grab us, and then bam! Double hit there because Boxer is on the way right, so the star lingers in his hurt box for long enough to get a double hit. And there we go.
I was a little worried about that setup. I screw up that setup a lot.
Yeah, I saw you took it safe, but I didn't want to bring it up because no one would be the wiser if I didn't say anything.
I'll figure out the fast setup sometime. I just haven't practiced it enough.
There's a lot to worry about in this game. Like I said, Amazing Mirror is all about your movement, all about saving those frames, and especially with me, since I'm like second in the world at this game, if you tell me that there's a bit of movement I could do to save 2 seconds, I will jump on that. Like any percent in particular is so optimized at this point. Like Miri's world record is just blah.
Okay.
There we go.
One more little thing to clean up.
Yep. So some people leave this for later, but I clump this in with nice UFO mix. So this is an optional mix. This is an optional mix you can do that drastically speeds up this section, although you don't actually need it since UFO can just glide through these rooms. You got enemies everywhere. It's like a oh jeez, what's the game? No, my brain's failing me. No. Whatever.
I was just gonna call it a gauntlet.
Yeah, just a gauntlet. Oh no,
well,
the UFO! Okay, that sucks because I didn't know this until I started speedrunning, but UFO's laser ability can light fuses. So if Quill was able to keep UFO there, he would have been able to charge a laser and shoot the fuse on his way up to the cannon and save a little bit of time there. But oh well. And we can angle our fire so it hits that bomb block through the wall and get that chest.
Now it's time for... I love Smash Tour. I like Smash Tour. It's very fun.
Yeah. This game is just so full of little guys. I call them little homies. A friend and I have a huge compendium of... it's like a compendium of little homies. And a lot of people from this game definitely make it in. Like, if you don't think Waddle Dee is a little homie, then you've never seen one.
What am I doing, eh?
What? Oh, you manually ejected wheel. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Don't worry, that was all intentional.
It was RNG manipulation.
Oh yeah, for the upcoming Master Hand fight.
This Master Hand can be a little bit of a jerk.
Not as much as the other Master Hands in this gamer's opinion.
Candy.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So as Quill introduced to earlier, this is Smash Tour, and it starts off with Wheel, but we're going to end at the Rainbow Route Master Hand fight. And again, if you've never played Amazing Mirror before, it might shock you that the boss of the Smash Brothers games is here as an enemy. Excellent RNG there, that fist attack, and the body to the left. We love being optimal on our fastest first marathon runs.
Like I said, RNG manipulation, trust me.
And there we go, we have Smash, and we're going to be keeping this ability for a while. Now, this is one of the most stressful parts of the whole run, especially if you're gunning for a top time, because you cannot get hit or lose Smash, else your run is pretty much over, since this whole section and the sections coming up revolve around Smash for some sort of puzzle-solving element we weren't able to do previously. So, one of those puzzle-solving elements earlier will be abusing the up B, the final cutter move, in order to move a... Okay.
Blips are scary. Like, it's a fish out of water. You don't think a fish that can't breathe would be scary, but those guys are scary.
Oh, thanks, Brad. So yeah, I should start a active list of stuff I didn't know before speedrunning, is that anything that shakes the screen, so like blocking off a wall with burner, or wheel, or up being with final cutter here, moves any hee-ho blocks a bit to the right. And we can do a cool little clip there to save a little time, and there we go. So casually, you're supposed to call all your Kirby friends to help you inhale that block, but relying on friends is slow. We'll rely on friends when the timer isn't on.
Oh, let's go.
No! So thank goodness that whenever you get hit, your ability that gets ejected has a little bit of iframes on it. But Quill could have very well lost Smash in the spike pit there, and thankfully that did not happen. We're able to continue the run. Yeah, a bit of a monkey-ass moment.
There's a lot of backups for Smash, thankfully. I unfortunately had to do them a lot because I'm not very good at keeping Smash.
And there we go, grab the maximum tomato, and we can call home and do the next part of Smash Tour, which I believe will be all of Ocean.
Gobbler.
So this is a bit of a route change that's been a thing for around 2 years now. Originally, we beat Gobbler earlier in the run with basically the any % method where we use Stone, but we're going to use Smash instead, because it was found out that doing the map segment with Smash and then continuing on to beat Gobbler from doing this lower part of all of Ocean was found to be faster. So shout out to Demo, good Kirby runner speed friend. Oh yeah, and this is... Once you get the movement down for this section, you can kind of autopilot, but man, is it scary to watch someone else do it, because you cannot re-inhale your ability once you get hit underwater. So if Quill gets hit by Gordo or a fish, Smash is gone bye-bye, and so has your run. Now, there are backups if we do lose Smash, so it's not like we'll have to end the run or anything, but, you know, if we're trying to go as fast as possible, it's not really ideal.
Definitely a PB ruiner for sure.
Nah. Alright, so yeah, we never used to do this room in 100%. Used to just enter this room and immediately hold L with Smash to go on to, I guess, Cabbage Cavern Smash segment, but we're going to continue on and go beat up Gobbler.
Gotta be careful with some glunks, because some of them shoot water at you like that, but the one that I just passed is very happy and go lucky. He doesn't like hurting people.
Yeah, some glunks are harmless. Other glunks, someone hurt them as a child. Alright, thankfully the scary parts of this route are over, and we can just go on and fight the boss with Smash now. So Smash's down B has the rock drop, and yeah, it's going to be the same as King Golem and Kracko before Gobbler. There we go, nice. And that's another Mirror Shard, and we have 6 of the 8. Or 5 of the 8, I can count. And there we go, this is the last Kirby dance of the whole time, so breathe it in.
Can I just give a shout out to how adorable the names of enemies are in Kirby games?
Yeah, Waddle Dee.
I'm sorry, Glunk.
Glunk, glunk.
I love it. That's perfect.
Like, Glunk is not an enemy name. That's the name of the sound your lunch makes when you accidentally drop it.
If I drop my water bottle right now, it might go
like, glunk, glunk. Alright, Battlefire is annoying, but he's staying put and giving us great RNG. Battlefire can just immediately swoop at you, and there's just nothing you can do about it, but...
I did. Oh, I did skip the cycle.
Nice!
Okay.
So Quill did a cool thing there where if you hold up when you're on the ground, it pans the camera up, which allows us to spawn a Gordo earlier than usual, and that allows us to just skip right by him when normally we'd have to wait for him. Oh, that's perky.
Yeah, I was a little worried there too.
This vertical room is super cool, depending on what strategy Quill's used to do it.
I did not do it right.
I
But that's
tried to nair
We're
through
good.
it. That's
We're
fine.
back Kirbying, it's alright.
Yeah, some runners fat Kirby just to make sure that they don't lose Smash down the chute there, but you're able to do that all in one fall, and it looks super swaggy if you're able to nail it. Smash Tour is almost done. We've got 2 segments left to go, and they're both Peppermint Palace stuff. There's a bunch of pegs and ropes to be cut in this segment, so perfectly suited for Smash.
Thank God that door is there, because fighting Boxer at all is really hard, but especially with something like Smash.
Yeah, Boxer
You have to
is not...
you have to get up close to him, and Boxer does not take kindly to that.
Yeah, as a speedrunner, Boxer, and sometimes Fan can be a real annoyance because whenever you get hit by them, you get into a giant command throw animation that wastes a bunch of time. And fighting Boxer in particular, powerless, is awful because of how long between opportunities to inhale something and shoot back are very far and few between. So here's a couple of scary rooms here with Smash. There's a lot of enemies flying about, like Gradius. That's the game I was thinking of earlier, Gradius. Oh, and especially
Because I got that earlier, I don't need to go grab that chest, so I can just go right here.
Nice. I remember. I have fond memories of playing Gradius 4. There we go. With Smash, we can just rock drop through here, and yeah. So we're just going to be making our way through the bowels of Peppermint Palace here, so if you've got anything you want to shout out or any cool donations that have come in, feel free.
Well, we still got those incentives I'm keeping my eyes on if anybody wants to try and change the starting character name for Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. We still need $47 to be able to talk to the frog, and folks, I know that we can put it together. If everybody puts in $1, we're going to meet about every incentive ever right now.
Yeah, I think so.
This.
I think
Let's get that dollar train going, yeah?
Yeah, I heard someone trying to get the dollar train going. Great, now I have the sentence suplex the dollar train in my head.
Wrong Final Fantasy, but I appreciate the thought.
I haven't played a single Final Fantasy game, so I'm a bit of a fraud in that department, I'm afraid to admit.
Well, stick around and you'll be able to get to watch a creative version of one.
Ooh. So here's Fan, we just rock drop through him. Ooh, I would've...
Yeah,
yeah, you're playing it safe, that's fine. Yeah, Fan loves to grab us if we're a bit too brash, so... Quill playing a little safe there, waiting for Fan to give us a little personal space. And we're on to the final segment of Peppermint Palace. So yeah, we're going up. I call this segment Peppermint Tower, since we're going all the way up one of the big rooks here. Did you get the tower room?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you got it during the wheel segment?
Yep.
That loses 2 seconds.
Whatever.
Yeah, listen to this nerd.
You and your second place time.
I kind of want to be a bit more humbler than that. Oh, please kill that Glunk, okay. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of chests. Peppermint Palace itself has 20 treasure chests to get, which is, like, more than double than any other area in the whole game, so... our D-pad up is getting a workout here in these segments. Man, I love the Peppermint Palace theme. I know a bunch of people give it some, I know a bunch of people don't like it, but I'm a big Peppermint Palace enjoyer.
I always felt like it was mocking me, because I was always getting lost in here. This is easily one of the easiest places to get lost, for sure.
Yeah, I guess the song itself can be interpreted as nah, 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 nah. Laughing at you, I guess, but...
What do you mean? Yeah, are you saying you don't think it's minty fresh?
Minty, whew. That nice, cool breeze in your mouth. So there you go. Are you going to be fighting Flosty with Smash, or are we going to grab...
Yeah, it's more fun.
Okay.
It's more fun that way.
Heck yeah. So this is a bit of a route preference here. This adds another mix to the run. Some runners, we would have ditched Smash and picked up Wheel from one of those stone golems when we were going up the right side, but we can just run into Flosty. Oops. But yeah, 3 hammers with Smash and immediately dispatches Flosty, which saves a little time. But the mix coming up is a second framer, and in my opinion, mixes where the ability is second, especially in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, can be way more finicky than other mixes. Excellent job there by Quill nailing it.
Very used to those kinds of mixes because there's a Smash backup in Peppermint Palace where Smash is third, just like Wheel is third here. So I'm very used to doing it.
I'm loving the people in chat correcting me on my mocking Peppermint Palace lyrics. It's nya 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 nya. I love getting that button grab. Yeah, it's sad that you're not able to equip a spray paint mid-run and then have it per save between soft resets. We do soft reset quite a bit in this run, which makes us not be able to equip one of the many fabulous colors in Katam. Some people usually do, like, if Amazing Mirror 100% is in a marathon, sometimes there'll be like a donation incentive to do the final split of the game, which is a little lengthy with color, but
I'll probably do that with no incentive. I didn't really think about doing that as a bid war, because I never do that.
yeah, it's like, it feels kind of scummy doing that, because it's like, you'd think like it would be worth donating for if it was like the whole run you use the same color, but it really is like the last 15-10 minutes or so, which might not be worth people's donations, but hey, every little dollar counts. Speaking of which,
we did get a bit of a donation, if y'all
Nice.
have a moment.
sure.
We have a donation from one Sarth the Snack, dropping in $125 with the comment, "Froze," and a colon 3 face. Also, topple the name, make it Snack. I can only imagine what that has gone to. Yup.
Yep.
I see. Well, I see some of where it's gone to.
Alright, so we ditched Wheel in that last segment for Stone, since we needed it for Peg and to ruin another elephant in this run. And we soft reset. I don't think I explained this earlier, but the moment you open up a chest, your game saves, like the moment you press up to open it. So you can immediately soft reset and go back to the main menu and skip the whole chest opening sequence. Now, Quill was talking about earlier that Mustard Mountain was one of the hardest segments in the game. Candy Constellation gets my vote. There's a lot of really tough wheel movement we have to do, and on top of that, there are bottomless pits below you during that tough wheel movement that can just end your run if you do one slight thing out of sync. If you press the B button too late and break a star block and you fall to your death, it's just bad news. A lot of difficult stuff. Definitely a newer runners. A lot of dead runs here for a lot of newer runners trying to learn the game.
It has an infamous room in it too, in both NE and Hondo.
Yeah, the Star Block room. Star Block room is really cool once you learn it, but it really is like walking a tightrope. It's like the lyrics of the pause menu for Wario World on GameCube where Wario starts going, yeah!
I don't know, I always thought it was more of a wah.
Wow!
Oh, what the heck, I'll go for it. Nope. Oh!
Oh, you're...
Oh!
Oh!
Oh,
You
let's go!
almost fell to your death. Yo, wheel. Okay, so that's not a mix a lot of people do because the setup is a bit temperamental and sometimes it wastes more time than it's worth it, but you can mix for wheel and you can feel really good if you do happen to get it, so...
Honestly, it's not worth it. I totally did it just for the meme.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not worth going for at all.
So if we didn't mix for wheel there, we'd simply just soft reset in this room rather than hold L and grab wheel from the West Rainbow Mirror, but Quill can just motor on ahead and do the next segment of Candy, which I believe is the final segment of Candy.
This
where we
is
go...
the any percent segment, yep.
Yep. Commentator noises. Yeah, again, like these jumps over bottomless pits that just can ruin your runs. Like, even for me, when I've done like hundreds of runs of this game, it's still a bit like, still at the back of your mind, don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up.
Alright, I have a little bit of a hint that the game is going to be lagging really bad in this room.
Oh, especially on DS.
Yeah. Let's see if I can do it.
Oh, the star block room.
Let's go.
Oh, that was so close to that getting hit by that Gordo, but that is the infamous star block room we were talking about earlier. This room can be incredibly laggy on console. It can definitely ruin your feng shui, as it were. Some pretty good RNG there from the hand. Very good fight there, Quill. So Master Hand has 4 different moves they can use. The Rock Drop, which is what we want to usually see. The Grab, which is the second best one for that particular fight, in my experience. The Finger Guns, which usually is not great, but that fight is okay. And the Punch.
That particular Master Hand is kind of annoying because, unlike most other ones, he likes to stay up really high where you can't reach him.
Yeah, he's just high enough off the ground for a jump during the wheel to not hit. He's like 1 tile too high. Alright, we're going to be ditching wheel here for more missile. Now, I love Missile. Missile is one of my favorite abilities in all of Kirby, just because of its high skill ceiling to use, and it just feels so rewarding if you can zip, zip, zoop through these sections. But it's so difficult. There we go, say hi to Shadow Kirby. We really are playing Kirby.
Oh, alright. Just for yellow Kirby, I'm grabbing. I'm letting him come in.
Nice. So depending on what abilities our Kirby friends have, we can decide whether or not to call for help here. The best case scenario is if one of the hands does a rock drop and gives us stone, since that's super effective against this boss. However, we're just going to light him on fire in the meantime, and that's going to be it for Master and Crazy Hand. 2 bosses to go here in 100%. Still a couple of chests and still a couple of rooms to discover. Let's freaking go! So here we go. Here's what's lovingly called Missile Mansion. This split's really difficult because in order to do it fast, you have to do a lot of tight missile movement. I highly recommend looking up a... Well, let's see if Quill aces it, so you don't have to, but if you've ever seen this section done perfectly with missile, it's just... Oh, yes! Inject that speed gaming right into my veins, man. There we go, juggling through the Gordo. Oh, chips.
We actually haven't mentioned Chip once in this run, actually, now that please, I don't think so.
Yeah, chips have been out of our hair recently. So, chips look cute on the outside. They're friend-shaped, they've got a happy little grin on their face, but to speedrunners, chips are the incarnation of the devil, and there's not enough of them in hell, in my opinion. So, yeah. Chips love jumping erratically, they love getting in your hair, they love blocking you, they love wasting your time. It's like the most devious, evil cat you've ever owned. But with no redeeming qualities. Although that might be chip slander because I'm bad-mouthing them off, but they haven't really messed our run-up to any degree, so maybe it's undeserved. There's still plenty of time.
Oh, okay. That's a...
So that enemy right there is called a Mira, and if you defeat a Mira, it spawns a door that you can enter behind them. But Miras are easily startled, either if you attack near them, or if you sprint near them especially. And the game basically has a 1 or a 0 flag of whether or not you've double-tapped left or right to start sprinting. And if you sprint into Wheel, you sprint into Burning, you sprint into Missile, the game still thinks you're in sprinting, and if you go near a mirror, then you'll scare them.
Yeah.
So it's imperative to remember to enter that room and not sprint and just immediately missile and do it all in one go and make sure, because it's not the act of missiling or burning into the mirror that scares them, it's the fact that you've sprinted into using it that is the big issue. So if you have
So
a
what
moment
happened there actually was
yeah, you slid into him.
That enemy next to him was a
The droppy.
something. Yeah, the droppy. I got scared that he would inhale the missile, and then I slid into him, and unfortunately, that also scared the Mira away.
Yeah. Oh, that was low, and
I don't know how I managed to not get hit there, but whatever. We take those.
yeah, the segment can also be really difficult. Oh no!
Oh,
I thought you were about
I
to
don't need
spit
it.
your ability up. No!
I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. Who needs it? I don't need it. I don't need it. Nope.
We were gonna discard missile here anyhow. That's not as awful as it appears, but that kind of sucks. We were gonna discard missile though because we got a mix coming up. The question is, are you gonna go for it normally, or are you gonna specifically do the backup mix? Oh, he's doing the backup. Oh, nope. Okay. Ow.
We're gonna do the backup.
Okay, we got Cook. That's one late, so we're doing the backup mix. I love this. A slide, 2 damage boosts, and they're right on top of one another for the wheel. I don't know if I was the one who discovered that, but I accidentally discovered that. One run. And it's actually saved a run. Normally, it's a pain to spawn those 2 Waddle Doos and to reset up the mix, but thankfully you can just damage boost them. That was weird, and you could immediately go on, yeah.
If I
So
could... Oh, go ahead. Ay, ay, ay.
That was close. That was close. Sorry,
You know,
sorry for
what-
cutting you off there.
What's a marathon run without a little bit of suspense, right?
Yeah, keep the adrenaline pumping for those of you on the East Coast awake at almost midnight.
I only clenched a little, it's okay.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was going to say that all of the incentives for Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise will be closing at the end of this run.
Ooh.
So if you want to change the starting character's name, or if you want to change the Twin Harp song, this is your last chance.
Time is running out. Ooh, that blipper was out for blood.
Yeah. So I made as is quite common for this marathon run, I made a bit of a routing mistake.
Why are we? Yeah, I was about to say, why are we down here? Why are we... Oh! Well, that's fine.
It's okay. If I die next room, it's not a big deal. This is the damage boost segment anyway. Oh, I died in this room. That sucks.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to do Cabbage Cavern after...
Yeah.
Are you doing this without splits, by the way?
Yep.
Okay, that would explain a couple of things. So we're supposed to do... So there's 2 segments here that we're doing. So this is the... I call this the ouch segment or the damage boost segment because we're going to get hit for benefit a lot. Run into a Gordo, run into a Sword Knight. But you'll have to believe us, it's fast and we're not bad. Just trust me. I'm getting hit on purpose. I'm letting them win for them to feel better. But yeah, we got 2 segments here because we got to get this big map chest and then we got to go beat up Moldy. Now, Molly, especially for any percent, is one of the biggest RNG pillars of the whole run, since you are going to beat him with Hammer, right, Quill?
Yes. I don't like
Okay.
doing the throw method.
Nice. So you either defeat him with Throw or Hammer. The power is yours, but the annoying part of Molly is that there are 6 holes he can spawn from. There's 3 on the ground, which is good. We want that. We love ground Molly in this household. And there's 3 on the ceiling, which is bad. No, don't. Stop. Bad emoji. And the reason is because he's not in a position where we can deal a ton of damage. Like, up B with Hammer, the Flaming Hammer we used on Wiz, won't hit him when he's on the ceiling, so we have to resort to the aerial spin jump move. And if we were to use Throw, which, honestly, Throw is much cooler, even though it's a tiny bit slower, where you grab an object that Molly throws, and then turn 180 and hold that object inside of him and deal constant damage. You can't really do that on the roof, so hopefully we get what's called Holy Moly, and he's on the ground and we just, like, instantly kill him. It's looking good. Mm.
I call Morgan on that. He was kind of there. His little paws were there.
Yeah, if you picked up
Relax, pause.
if you picked up one hit on the 2 early snaps, that would have been good. But as you can see there, he might not even attack at all. He might just pop out, sniff, and then go back down to do something else and just bait you and just waste your time. Obviously, you want him to sniff out immediately and attack you so he can do damage. Alright, we'll have to get back on track here by getting wheel, but next up is Radish Ruins, which is a very heavy wheel segment. I know it's a change of pace from the rest of the run.
Oh, we're using wheel this time.
Yeah! A lot of variety here in Kirby and the Amazing Wheel. Whack-a-mole.
Oh, great. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, a lot of Kirby keeping the food games and all of it, or food theme in all of its games. There we go, pick up a couple of chests. Again, we're trying to avoid hit lag here by jumping over as many enemies as possible and, you know, trying to avoid as much confrontation as possible. Yeah, this is really different.
Anyone else getting tired of these wheel puns?
Uh-huh.
Keep them rolling.
We haven't been using that ability a lot. It's nice to take it for a spin.
Nice.
Thank you,
Side note.
Fraz.
Roll and move is one of my favorite Twitch tags to have with this game because you are always rolling and you're always moving.
Uh-huh. There we go. Here's a chest that some people forget about, and some people think you didn't get even though you did. Not naming names.
I'm really glad that none of these jokes have gone flat.
Yeah. That must... I never thought of that before. How much would it hurt Kirby to get a flat? Like, that's gotta be painful. Like, there's a lot of sharp edges here. Like, we're driving through spikes.
I just thought of the sound effect, just...
Ugh. Oh, man. Don't make me think of Kirby getting hurt like that. Didn't that happen in the anime? I don't know. I haven't seen that show since I was a kid.
I know Squeak Wheel works on spikes, so I don't know what rubber they're made out of, but it's very durable, and it's puncture-proof, apparently.
Oh, very, very good timing. Welcome on in, Free Enterprise, with the raid party of 30.
Yeah, we're a majority of the way through the run here. We got Radish Ruins to go. We gotta pick up one last Mirror Shard in defeating... Huh? And then after that is a little bit of cleanup, and then we're on to the final boss. So, welcome all 30 of you. I hope you're having a great day, and welcome to Fastest Furs. Alright, that's the coolest part of the run we just did. So there's 2 wind tunnels like that in the game, and the fact that it's not only, it's fast and it's used. So we go to Carrot Castle, we open up, because those levers that open up the wind tunnels count as chests for 100% completion. So the fact we open up the lever and then return to Radish Ruins through it is just so cool.
Can't do it through Moonlight and Olive, so at least you get to do it here.
Oh yeah, do you want to plug the Harp Song donation goal?
Indeed. You have until the end of this run for 2 different donation incentives still open for Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. The starting character name, which is still up for grabs. Moose has the lead, but Snake is trying to chase it down. And the Twin Harp Song is going to be something about come back or go away.
Ooh. I'm a big comeback fan myself.
And yes, the frog incentive has been met. We will be saying hello.
Nice! Alright, one thing I haven't actually explained yet in this run that I'm surprised I haven't talked about yet is we just did a vertical room where we just jumped up a bunch. So the initial speed you get from doing a jump is actually faster than just simply floating up all the way through rooms. So what Quill was doing for all the vertical sections in this game was floating up, unpuffing, and then doing a jump, and then re-flying again. Alright, we're entering question mark, the Dark Meta Knight fight, and the goal here is we're going to use the crouch slide, and the crouch slide is going to get Meta Knight to jump, and then we're going to do a cancel the crouch slide into a nair, since that pops us in the air, and then do two neutral swings on the ground here. This fight didn't go super according to plan, but that's fine. It's just another piece of RNG in the run. Sometimes Meta Knight blocks you, sometimes he just wanders around. Sometimes it's perfect and you feel like a god. But, yeah, just another piece of RNG in Kirby and the Amazing Wheel.
92%. So far, we're on track for 100%, and I haven't missed anything.
Alright, so you just entered the final boss mirror and then immediately reset. So, when you enter the final boss sequence, you have a pretty lengthy cutscene of you discovering that Meta Knight was a fake, and still sort of prepping the first fight of the final boss sequence. If we go in there, we basically set a flag that tells the game that, yes, we have seen the cutscene before, so when we return there, we can just simply press start and skip the cutscene. And, yeah, we're basically doing what's called the cleanup section. So we have 3 splits here of just minor chests and rooms we haven't got yet in the run. Bit of spring cleaning here, if you will. And the first section is Radish Ruins. We get the final vitality, so we're all powered up and healthy, and we ate our vegetables and all that.
And everything else.
And everything else, yeah.
Not the last one. I think we've got one more coming up after this that I haven't grabbed yet.
In Carrot Castle.
Carrot! Yeah. I like carrots. Who here likes carrots?
I enjoy carrots in a salad.
Beta carotene.
Why do they say it like that? I don't know, I guess press 1 in chat if you're a carrot enjoyer. I don't know.
Is there? Hold on, let me see if there's a carrot. Yes, there is. Okay, just spam carrot emojis.
Oh, I'll join in on that because we are in Carrot Castle. We're in the second last gameplay split of the run here. We just got to pick up a couple of chests and rooms. Damn, we got a carrots are gross. We got a couple of people joining in the carrot train. Sarth really loves their carrots. Ooh. Oh, nice! You got the jump. That jump is, I believe, pixel perfect. So we're going through this room again, but going through the middle of the 3 wind tunnels brings us to the yellow spray room, so. And there we go, we gotta call the boys. Oh, I'm loving this carrot love. We should have had the chat spam each vegetable or fruit, depending on what area we're in. Although I don't think there's a mustard emoji, is there? There's not a mustard emoji. Surprised there's no, like, you know, the iconic, like the condiment cylinder, or like ketchup and mustard, you know, like the big...
I'm sorry, I haven't heard it.
That was a very verbose way of putting it, I agree, but...
The condiment cylinder. I'm calling all of them that from now on.
Please utilize the condiment cylinder. Yeah, there's a salt shaker. Condiment cylinder. There we go, calling twice because reception is faulty, I guess. And we got one last segment to go before we're into the final boss of the run. And we're gonna go up this vertical room here with Stone, since we have one last peg to break.
Yeah.
And feel the hype, everyone.
For how high the rent is, that castle has terrible internet service. I gotta call it one.
I mean, they're way out in the middle of nowhere there in the west, so... You had to trek through some woods to get there. You're absolutely killing it. What is your time at, by the way? Do you have a timer going?
I do not have a timer going.
Okay.
They do. An hour 7.5.
I see, right, okay. So my run is done. That's fine. Oh, I didn't get the hole-in-one, unfortunately, but that's fine. That just means bad luck.
Looks like this is on track to be like a 113 or something like that.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Which does mean about 5 minutes left for those bid wars.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was...
Yo, that... Okay.
was beautiful.
That was so fast, I couldn't even explain anything. So we're flying to the top of the screen because we bonk and we float in the air. Isn't that funny? But yeah, this Meta Knight fight is a rhyme of the earlier Meta Knight fight. You slide into him, and then well, Quill didn't do that. He just went hell for leather and just stoned him. But normally you slide into him for him to consistently jump, and you pick up your double hit rock drops.
I definitely go for a more risky and RNG heavy strat there.
Oh, you can do early hit. Oh, you didn't do early hit, coward. So this is Dark Mind. So Dark Mind's the final boss of the game who dies in one double star. So Dark Mind's hitbox is big enough that if you set up a double star off of an ability you bring with you in the fight, and the Master Sword itself, so you see there Quill drops his ability right before picking it up, and then layers it on top of the Master Sword there. And yeah, the Dark Mind's hitbox is so big that when he gets hit by the double star, he moves backwards into the double star again, and those two hits demolish him. And we're going to be doing that back to back to back to back here for the first 4 phases of the Dark Mind fight. And here we go. We have a little bit of an added layer for this one. We're hoping for a bit of RNG here. We really want Dark Mind to shoot at us a red or a blue star as he attacks.
Yeah, let's go!
Let's go! Excellent! So we just saved a whole lot of time. So with ice or fire, we can hit this switch through the wall. And that prevents... Okay, I thought you were about to go. Because I usually hit it when I spawn in. So that just prevented us from going all the way around that room to grab a sword as intended. So we just saved a bunch of time, and if this was my run, I'd be screaming about this. Ice power, baby. So, a double star. Oh, the green! Oh!
Do I get a pity? Can I have a pity star? Pity star? Pity star?
Pity star.
No.
So we're hoping for a green star here. So, I built this up earlier. We are really hoping for a green star drop here. A double star isn't enough to kill Dark Mind, but we can pick up the remaining hits with a UFO. So those green stars that Dark Mind shoots, if we inhale them, is in an instant mix. It doesn't give you cutter or anything. Please just beam him. Just beam him. Please,
right.
Please, Quill.
Please,
Quill, just beam. You don't need to chart. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Dark Mind is a run ruiner. If he decides to do attacks that don't send a green star or doesn't attack in a way that you can't get a double star to do an improv mix for UFO, he can just waste time. Sometimes 5 seconds, sometimes a minute. And yeah, definite run killer. So we want UFO because it absolutely shreds. As you can see there, the fully charged laser bolts not only goes through the center eye of Dark Mind, which hits him, but can also hit the mirrors he attacks with, which are also hitboxes. Oh, Quill!
Bit of a rough miss time there. Whoa, 3 Sparkies?
Oh, it's Prick, Prack, and Brad! Come to say hello! They all want to say hi to you.
I just wanted to say you're welcome for the thank you earlier.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna call the guys. I'm a little low on health.
Yeah, so normally you'd want to do this final Tohu section by yourself, since that makes it easier to react to what the boss throws at you. But calling your Kirby friends here allows you to regain some health if you're feeling a little not confident. But that just means Dark Mind is going to have to shoot everybody, so he's way less predictable of where he's going to be for you to lead your shots into him. Calling the boys. And the final section of the run, but it's not going to be time yet. Normally an any percent time is when you defeat Dark Mind here, but we have to wait until the 100% screen to confirm that we did indeed get everything, and we've unlocked boss endurance. So there's a bit of a pause chant moment when you're waiting for the run to be over here. Cracking open a cold one and defeating Dark Mind with the boys. So this is where any percent would usually end, but we're not ending just yet.
Ugh.
Beeper pause. I love Danger Zemas.
Well, that was definitely something.
Yeah, it was a run that happened, and I'm really happy we were able to show off this amazing game to such a wonderful audience here for Fastest First 2022.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh, we don't know it's GG yet. Yeah, this is always a
Alright,
butterfly.
let me see if I can snag the 69. They'll probably ruin it, but we'll see.
Oh no. Yeah, this is always a butterfly-inducing point in the run, especially if you're newer, like, because you don't know at the back of your mind, did I get every room? Did I get every chest? Did I miss something? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Is the 100% stream gonna come up? 72. Missed it by 3.
I blame yellow. I blame green Kirby. Thanks, green Kirby.
Quill, I'm so glad Amazon delivered your charger. Same.
There are a lot of things that I am glad about with this.
I think that green Kirby was...
Alright, wave goodbye, everyone.
Oh.
And
Because this
let's
run
go
is...
Yeah.
And there it is, 100% complete. That is time, and that is Kirby and the Amazing Mirror 100% for you today. I hope everyone enjoyed the run and enjoyed the commentary. Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I am hungry. I need to go downtown. I'm going to get something to eat.
Yeah, and it's it just turned midnight here, so I'm probably gonna, once we pass off the mic here, I'm just gonna instantly flop in my bed and continue watching the marathon. Maybe fall asleep to it. But yeah, thank you so much for having us on and allowing us to show off Amazing Mirror. Any Kirby Speed game is a great Kirby Speed game. So yeah.
And thank you both for that amazing run and very thorough explanations, aside from when the bosses kind of finished too fast to see.